all my viewers from around the world. Super happy to have you here today. As most of you know that have been with me for a while, Mondays are kind of tough for me. So this is going to be your reading for today, Monday the 17th through tomorrow, Tuesday the 18th. Some of you on the Southern Hemisphere are already towards the end of our 17th. I hope everybody is doing amazing. I often get asked about which tarot cards I'm using because I use so many different ones. If you're ever wondering what type of tarot cards I'm using, there is an Amazon link down below in the description box. There's also information in there on personal readings, donations, that sort of thing. I still have Christmas pricings up till next week. The 26th is the last day that you can order with Christmas pricing. And I'm also setting aside a lot of extra time this week to do additional readings. So keep that in mind. If you've just ordered a reading, your readings are going to be done today and tomorrow. So any new ones that come in today, look towards Wednesday, Thursday probably. All right. Using the Tarot of Dreams today, I'm just, really drawn to this deck right now for some reason. It's been very, very accurate in my personal readings here locally this weekend. So at the bottom of the deck, you have the 5 of coins. Okay, we have the 3 of coins, the 4 of swords, the Hermit, the Moon. I love the Moon card in here. And the Queen of Swords. All right. Before I go on, I am going to go ahead and I am going to take a couple other cards from our Oracle decks so that we can gain a little bit more insight into the next 36 hours or so. And this is for all signs. Monday the 17th, Tuesday the 18th. View from above, get the big picture. That's exactly what I was feeling. So, view from above, get the big picture. I'll show you these in just a second. I like to shuffle on deck so that you know, or on the video so that you know I'm not just randomly, purposely picking cards out. I have no control over which cards come out. So those of you that get angry that a reading goes in one direction or another. Children. So for some of you, children are involved. Know that your children are protected. An Angel of Miracles. Open your heart and expect a miracle. And I'm also going to take your romance angels, and then we're going to talk about all these cards and see what we have going on here. There's a child here in this, well, it's more of a cherub, but you know what I mean. Okay. Express your love. Express your love. All right. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So I just want to, before I talk, I just want to say that for all of you, this is not going to be a love reading. So just because I chose a Romance Angels card does not mean that this is the next 2 days is going to have to do with love for you. However, I do want to briefly express that this is a general reading. So not everything that I talk about here is going to resonate with each of you. With so many people out there that view these videos, it can't possibly have to do with every single person that watches. So take the parts that do apply to you, leave the rest. If nothing applies to you, don't try to force it. If you need a personalized reading, there's a link down below so you know how to reach me. But there will also be weeklies that will be out a little bit later today, as well as the Wednesday one will be out soon too. So just you know, if it doesn't resonate, don't worry too much. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, what I'm feeling very strongly, what I was feeling strongly here as I'm reading our first 5 cards, is it looks like you're going to be working on gaining some clarity on something within your life. Central to the reading, we have the Hermit. The Hermit. The Hermit energy is Virgo energy. It does not necessarily mean you are dealing with a Virgo. But the Hermit energy is about solitude. It's about taking time to yourself these next couple days and, you know, finding answers to whatever questions you have going on in your life, in your mind, that have been plaguing you or bothering you in some way, or answers to big decisions that you're having to make. So you're very likely going to be taking some time to yourself. I see that both here with the Hermit and the Four of Swords, in order to figure out what it is that you want in your life, what direction you're going to need to go in, what is the answer to something that you've been trying to figure out. Do you have to take any action? Is there anything that you need to say? Is there anything that you need to change in you? Is there anything that you're working on internally for your own self-improvement that needs to be looked at as well? With this Hermit energy, that's the type of energy that we have. Now, the Hermit also gives the advice for you not to be so hard on yourself. So if you've been hard on yourself about a particular situation, it's time to let that go as well. Now, we see here the Hermit is sitting here with his staff, and on the very top of the staff, it's glowing. This represents the clarity of mind that you get in that period of solitude. It represents the fact that things become illuminated to you. The things that you have struggled with from a confusion perspective that we see here with the Moon will start to become clear to you. Now, it looks like there could be a focus on working together with somebody on something. Usually with the Three of Pentacles, it has to do with you know, working together to achieve a big goal together, to, you know, achieve something great. Having your energy align with other people's energy to accomplish a task, basically. Utilizing the skills and the strengths of each other in order to do so. In some decks, when we see the Three of Coins, it can relate to a three-party situation. In this particular deck, this man is working very, very diligently. Looks like he's some sort of either a blacksmith or a glass blower or something of that nature. And he's putting a lot of hard work into something. I love how you see all the little sparks down here. Well, inside the sparks, which you can't see because it's so far up, we see basically symbols associated with horoscope signs, as well as the moon and stars. So I feel as if when you work together with something, that task that you're going to accomplish is something great, something bigger than, it's bigger than, hey, let's just finish this project at work. This is something in your life that requires a great deal of togetherness in order to accomplish. Well, with the Four of Swords, there's going to be some reason why you, and these previous 2 cards could have occurred before today. But there's a need to take some time for yourself with the Four of Swords. Need to take some time to recharge, recover, in order to clear your mind, to open up your mind. We're chasing the sun, sorry about the light. In order to clear your mind, to move forward. I find it interesting that in this card, we've got the 3 swords down at this person's feet. And up underneath him, he's sleeping with a sword underneath him. That's almost a little bit of a protection mechanism. It's as if part of the rest and the recovery is in order to protect himself. So you may find that there's something going on in your mind in which you're needing to take this time to recharge, recover, complete personal growth in order to rejuvenate in some area of your life. But you have set aside the helmet here, but you're still sleeping here on the sword. So that tells me that there's a little bit of you that is feeling vulnerable, is feeling as if, you know, you could run into problems. You might be fighting an internal battle that is not visible to others, and that's why you're taking this time to yourself. That sword could also represent some sort of communication, because swords do represent communication, often decision making, so you could be trying to make a decision. Swords also represent thought processes, your mental world. So there could be some specific reason why you feel like you need this alone time to just recharge. It's almost like you've had so much stress you can't take anymore, and you need to figure, there's something you have to figure out. When these two cards come together, there's something that, some big decision or some big clarity that you need on a situation. You're trying to determine that. The Moon card, the Moon card is, it's, many of my Pisces are already gone. Yeah, it's a Pisces card. We sometimes see the Moon card associated with other water signs as well, Cancer and Scorpio, but primarily Pisces. It is a Pisces card. And with the Moon card, it's a card of mystery. So you may gain some clarity on a situation here, but there may still be some confusion associated with this situation. And that confusion may lead to a little bit of anxiety, so you need to be careful of that. You need to understand that with the Moon card is often about that forward movement. It's like making that journey into the unknown, exploring the unknown, taking that step in towards your future, and yet delighting in the journey. I mean, like, here's this beautiful waterfall, this, you know, magnificent nature scene. So enjoying the journey, but yet you don't see where you're going until each step becomes illuminated and illuminated and illuminated. Now, we do have a full moon this week, so, you know, since these two cards can often have to do with the future, this could also represent something that's going to happen around the time of the full moon for you. I do feel like there is some confusion and anxiety associated with whatever it is that you've been trying to determine how to handle in your life. And that could become clear at the time of the full moon. And the reason I say that is because we have the Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords gets down to the heart of a matter and is able to find a solution. So I feel like as you move past these next 2 days and you're going towards the rest of the week, you're going to get even more clarity. So this is all about clarity for you, for whomever this relates to. Clarity on a situation, something that's, you know, internally plaguing you, something that's bringing some confusion, anxiety, something you may not actually be discussing with others because you're in this period of solitude and there's a protection aspect to it here. But you need to be able to see how something is going to play out in your life. We see here with this sacred travel card, the sacred traveler card, view from above, get the big picture. So this is telling me that you need to look at the whole situation. While you're taking this time of contemplation, trying to figure out what to do about this situation, you need to look at it from a grander scale. You may be looking at it from the viewpoint of how it affects you, primarily. Well, how does it affect other people? Also keep in mind that sometimes how things affect other people is really not of that much concern, because sometimes we may be looking at a big picture in the sense because we're looking outside of ourselves, but we're not looking within ourselves. So we're not looking at the whole picture. And we need to trust our feelings, trust our intuition, trust our own guidance. Nobody can be the source of your own happiness. Only you can be the source of your own happiness. And so if you're relying on others to be that source of happiness for you, or to approve of your decisions with regards to your own happiness, that's not going to serve you. You need to take a look at the whole thing as a whole. How's it going to affect you? How's it going to affect other people? the way it affects other people, does that really have anything to do with your betterment and those of your immediate family? Or, you know, for those of you that are married, your spouse. For those of you that are in a relationship, your partner. We do have, for those of you that may just, you know, for those of you that have anybody special in your life. So I'm going to talk about, you know, whether this has to do with a marriage, a committed relationship, somebody you've just recently met that you have feelings for. This particular card says, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Express how you feel towards somebody. There's this sense in this card with the way she's kind of holding on to this guy and the way he's like pulling her in close. It's almost, there's almost a sense of protection here, as if somebody needs to hear how you feel. So be sure to express your feelings and your emotions to whomever this is that's important in your life. For some of you, this decision may be related to a love interest. You may be trying to determine if you should take a next step with somebody. You may be trying to determine if, you know, you should become exclusive, or you should, you know, move in together, become engaged, get married, stay married if you're married, get divorced, whatever. I feel like there's this particular situation is going to be different for each and every one of you. But as we get closer to this full moon, I feel like a lot of us are going to be going into this period of contemplation and looking at our lives and figuring out what needs to change and what we need to do about different things. Now, those of you that have been concerned about your children, this card here says, know that your children are protected. Only you would know what that means. I'm glad they gave me two, because usually when the children card comes up, I pull a second one, because not all of you will be dealing with children. An angel of miracles. Open up your heart and expect a miracle. So for some of you, I feel like you've been waiting on something for a very long time. You've been waiting to see movement on something for a very long time. And you may have closed yourself off a little bit because there's been no movement. You may have closed yourself off a little bit because of, you know, different circumstances that have occurred in your life that have caused that confusion and anxiety. This card here is saying for you to open your heart up and expect a miracle. Believe that you are going to receive a miracle. You know, in my Christian faith, it's all about, you know, believing and stepping out in faith, believing in something you cannot see. I don't know what your beliefs are. Whatever it is that you believe in, whatever sort of higher power you believe in, expect a miracle here. Believe. Law of attraction says to believe. Live as if, believe. All right, everybody, I kind of exhausted all our cards for these couple of days. I don't know what each and every one of you are dealing with individually. However, I will say this. I think you are going to gain the clarity that you seek when you take the time for you. You stop letting other people take your time, and in this next couple days, you take time for you. You are the source of your happiness, and you are the person who knows what you need to do about a situation, and you can trust in the guidance that you get from your higher power on what you do need to do, and take that time alone because you're in need of it in order to gain that clarity that's coming here. Have a beautiful couple days. I will see you again soon. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel before you leave. Once again, if you need information about the cards or about personal readings, anything like that, it's down in the description box. And have a beautiful day. See you soon.